The childhood friend I grew up sleeping next to, in order to bully me for a lifetime, actually got me drunk and tricked me into getting a marriage license. But after marriage, she came home very late every day, with the scent of different men's colognes on her. Originally, I thought she was fooling around outside, until I was in the underground parking lot, and ran into buy spraying perfume, buy Ling Bing, and finally realized why. Originally, I was enjoying my vacation abroad, but Mom suddenly notified me to come back and get married. I was completely confused. How am I suddenly getting married? Later I learned that for Mom's career to reach the next level, she arranged a marriage with a famous family. The person from that family marrying me was the demoness who bullied me growing up, Bai Yungbing. When we were young, relying on her early development, she would smack the back of my head for no reason, saying I was her lackey. Later, when I grew taller than her, this guy actually learned Sanda. Undoubtedly, I still couldn't beat her. Later, after starting university, I suddenly came to my senses. I suddenly realized she was a year younger than me. Why should I be the lackey? Later, I went to study abroad, and our contact decreased. I thought someone like her would marry someone she liked. I didn't expect she would actually agree to an arranged marriage. Since the marriage partner was her, I accepted it. By then, I had been abroad for a few years, and had no idea how she had changed. Unexpectedly, after marriage, I found she had become like other wealthy heiresses who loved chasing male models at 8 p.m. That little bit of youthful crush I had stopped right there. It's been a month since Bai Lingbing and I got married, and she comes back every day smelling of different smoke and men's cologne. It's not that I don't let her go out and fool around. It's just that with a frequency of one a day. If she's not afraid of getting sick, I am afraid of getting sick. As soon as she gets sick, I will divorce her. I can tolerate other things, but this, I cannot tolerate. Today, because I forgot my keys, I returned to the parking lot to get them, but unexpectedly ran into Bai Lingbing spraying perfume. The moment she saw me, Bai Lingbing hurriedly put the perfume away. I walked over, and casually said, "Bye. Miss has good spirits. The banquet is over." Coming home, yet still spraying perfume. Unexpectedly, as if I stepped on her tail, she quickly replied to me, "I just found this perfume smelled good at the banquet, so I just sprayed it twice to try it out. Don't think I'm up to anything." Hearing this, I looked at her with a confused face. "I didn't suspect you were doing anything." She replied, "Good," and then went up the elevator first. I followed right after, and returned to the house. The nanny had already made dinner. I washed my hands and planned to eat. She sat opposite me, pulled open her collar slightly, revealing red marks inside. I took a glance, lowered my head, and continued eating. She also ate a few bites, then reached out and pulled her collar again, revealing more skin, making the marks show more obviously. I looked again, and continued eating. She ate a few more bites, and pulled at her clothes again. After going back and forth several times, I finally couldn't hold back and spoke. "Bai Lingbing, if you feel hot, we can turn on the air conditioner. There's no need for this. Also, if you and your little lover want to, play some little games. Painting hickeys on your chest. There's no need to show me like this." I thought after I spoke, she would reply contemptuously, "Control me," but he replied to me, "This isn't drawn on. This is a bruise, looking serious. Whose mouth looks like this? A kiss that leaves a cross seal. It's obviously scratched by hand, okay? You can tell it's fake at a glance. But, if you insist it's a hickey, then fine. Whatever," I nodded and replied. "Fine, next time your little lover kisses you, you don't need to make it so obvious." I withdrew my gaze, and continued eating, but he chuckled and asked me, "Fang Yuan, are you jealous?" My hand-picking food paused, looking at him with an indescribable expression. It's hard to imagine what mental state led him to this conclusion. I smiled and answered, "Bai Ningbing, ours is a business marriage. I am very clear about this. I will maintain the necessary distance. How you are with those male models and college boys, I won't interfere. You can play as much as you like, as long as you don't bring back diseases. I don't think I will divorce." Putting it this way, is my attitude clear enough? Do you need me to say a few more words to young master? As I finished, he coldly snorted, "It better be, because that's what I think too. I hope young master Lee won't regret it then." After saying that, he got up and left. I replied to his retreating back, "I don't even dip dumplings in vinegar. No need to for a woman, especially not for a marriage partner." At night, after I finished reading the proposal in my room, I was planning to come out to find something to eat, and saw Bai Ningbing wandering around the kitchen. I walked up behind him with a puzzled look. He happened to turn around, and instantly jumped 3 feet high. "Feng Yuan, what are you doing standing silently behind me?" I was startled by him, paused, and spoke. "I just came to see it's 10 p.m. What are you doing in the kitchen?" As I finished speaking, I looked at the busy movements of his left hand. The more I looked, the more something seemed wrong. I remembered the meal. On the table, he only ate a few bites and stopped. So I asked tentatively, "Bai Ningbing, are you planning to cook?" His hand paused for a moment. He didn't pay attention to me. I asked again, "Are you really planning to cook?" This time he replied impatiently, "In cooking. Why are you making such a fuss?" I quickly waved my hand. "Nothing. Just remembered the last time you cooked, you sent someone to the hospital." That's right, that unlucky person was. Back in high school, love bentos were popular for holidays. Bai Lingbing watched with great interest, and wanted to try too. So catching my birthday, he excitedly took out a bento from his school bag for me. To say I wasn't moved would be a lie. After all, someone like him who can't cook learned from me. After opening it, the appearance of the bento looked very good too. There were eggs and shrimp. Quite rich. And then I ate a mouthful of shrimp steamed egg under Bai Lingbing's expectant gaze. The moment it entered my mouth, I realized something was wrong. The egg inside was raw, and the shrimp inside was half raw too. I wanted to spit it out, but seeing Bai Lingbing looking at me expectantly and asking, "How is it?" The words at my lips, along with the shrimp, were swallowed into my stomach. I forced a smile and answered, "It's okay, but I want to take it home to eat." I made up a random excuse, and put the lid back on the bento box. In less than 5 minutes, my stomach couldn't take it anymore. In the end, I had acute gastroenteritis and went straight to the hospital. In the hospital, I looked at Bai Lingbing and couldn't help saying, "Being your lackey is fine, but you can't try to kill me." The past is unbearable to look back on. After my reminder, Bai Lingbing remembered it too. Embarrassed, she replied, "After so many years, how do you know my cooking hasn't improved?" As she spoke, I saw that after the water boiled, she threw the noodles, meatballs, and everything else in all at once. "Forget it, it's not for me to eat anyway. It's none of my business." I turned around and left immediately. A few minutes later, someone knocked on my door. I opened the door, and saw Bai Ningbing. The moment she saw me, she paused, then said to me with a normal expression, "I finished cooking. Do you want to taste it?" I looked at the clock on the wall. From the time I returned to my room to her opening the door, it was less than 10 minutes. "Can those noodles be eaten?" I waved my hand and replied, "I don't eat last night's snacks." After saying that, I was about to close the door. She suddenly held my door. I looked up at her in confusion. She coughed lightly. "Wait, can you go over and help me take a look? I feel like my noodles can still be salvaged." With embarrassment on her face, and her ears a bit red, I simply leaned against the door, smiled at her, and said, "Miss Bai, you skipped dinner for another man. What do you think it counts as if I go help you now?" As I finished speaking, she touched her nose, looking guilty when meeting my eyes. Then she replied to me quietly, "Seems so." I raised my eyebrows. I didn't look at her. She looked away. lowering her head, looking as awkward as it gets. I chuckled softly. Hearing that, she looked up and returned to that arrogant expression. She said to me, if you won't help, then don't. I won't starve to death. Hearing this, I nodded. Then please figure it out yourself, Miss Bai. After saying that, I closed the door. When I went out to the living room to drink water next time, I saw her sneaking around getting takeout. We looked at each other for just a second. She humped and entered her room arrogantly. I shrugged and went back to my room. When I came out to the living room to get tissues, I saw Bai Mingbing again. This time, she was rummaging through the medicine cabinet. Her movements paused noticeably. Before I even got close, I heard a PFFT sound, and then the air was filled with an unspeakable smell. Because it happened so fast and suddenly, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. She immediately said to me, shut up, don't laugh. While laughing, I waved my hand, sorry. My laughter is just like that fart of yours. I can't hold it in. I couldn't stop laughing. She turned back and glared at me fiercely, then ran back to her room while clutching her butt. The big sister image Bai Lingbing spent years building in my heart collapsed just like that. The next day when I was going out, I looked at the pale Bai Lingbing, smiled and said, Miss Bai, I can refrain from being jealous, but you can't refrain from eating. After saying that, I smiled, closed the door, and left. And his reply came from behind. Feng Yuan, you shut up. In the evening, I picked up my phone, just planning to send a message to Bai Lingbing to ask if she wanted to go to the banquet together. Suddenly I remembered. She already said the day before yesterday. She's not free tonight. Forget it. I went by myself. Anyway, it's the same whether she goes or not. It's just looking like a couple to go through the motions. I got ready and went to the venue. Entering the banquet hall, I saw Bai Lingbing who said she wasn't free, standing next to a guy. The moment she saw me, Bai Lingbing's face looked a bit panicked. I took a wine glass and stepped forward with a fake smile. Miss Bai is quite busy, bringing a male companion to the banquet. How should I dress him? As soon as the words fell, she spoke up. This isn't a male companion I brought. I came alone. After saying that, she moved away from him. I and the boy beside her were both stunned. Isn't she changing men every day? An expert who dominates the dating scene? Why does she seem afraid that he'll misunderstand? I looked at the man beside her. He came back to his senses, stepped forward and hugged Bai Lingbing's arm. Smiling, he said to me, Sister, is this brother-in-law? Looking at his age, he's a few years older than you, right? Older? And 1 year younger than Bai Lingbing, okay? Saying I look old? Miss Bai, is your little boyfriend 18 yet? He's not a minor, is he? I glanced at Bai Lingbing with a fake smile, wishing I could knock her away with a look. She just happened to look over. Our eyes met. Just for a moment. She quickly looked away, pulled her hand out of the other's embrace, said to me, it's none of my business. I didn't tell him. You. He doesn't know where he heard it, looking so nervous. How nervous, as the words fell. Bai Lingbing even stepped several steps away. I snorted coldly and didn't reply. Turned and went elsewhere. After that, whenever I turned my head, I could see Bai Lingbing falling behind me. And that brother of hers was nowhere to be found. I couldn't be bothered with her. Continued chatting with people. Until my father-in-law appeared. In order to maintain superficial harmony, I pulled Bai Lingbing from behind me. Held her hand. Then spoke. Dad, good evening. Father-in-law glanced at the two of us. Smiled and said good to me. Seeing that the relationship between you two is harmonious, I am happy. Just now, I saw you and Lingbing arriving separately. I thought you had a fight. I answered with a smile. No, Lingbing and I didn't fight. It's just that I got off work a bit late today. So she came first. Father-in-law nodded upon hearing this. So that's it. That's good. If Lingbing treats you badly, throws temper tantrums, you just tell me. He'll go teach her a lesson. Hearing father-in-law say this, I hurriedly waved my hand. No, Lingbing is especially good. Life is like a play. It all depends on acting. Bai Lingbing comes back every day smelling of different cigarettes and men's cologne. I still have to say she is good. Look at how she describes me in front of others. Hey, hearing me say this, father-in-law laughed even more happily. I knew little Yuan suits you best. Before I made her go on blind dates, didn't fancy a single one. As soon as she heard it was marriage with you, agreed without saying a second word. Shows what he was saying to your father-in-law. And the more I listened, the more confused I got. Hearing about marrying me, agreed without a second word. Then what is she after? Could it be she likes me? I cast towards Bai Lingbing a doubtful gaze. She didn't even look at me. Said to my father-in-law, Dad, Xiao Yuan and I have plans with friends. So we're leaving first. Said that and dragged me right out. I let Bai Lingbing drag me away. I asked her, when did we make plans with friends? She replied, seconds ago. I asked again. Then, agreeing to marry me instantly, what was that about? Don't tell me that was also a split-second decision. I stopped and looked at Bai Lingbing, asking tentatively, Bai Lingbing, you don't happen to like me, do you? Hearing this, she reacted like a cat with bristled fur. Quickly replied to me, what nonsense are you talking about? I didn't not. I became even more confused. If not then not, why is her reaction so big? I originally wanted to ask one more thing. She just walked away. Without looking back left me a sentence. I have plans with a friend, got things to do. Leaving now. Then I saw her heading to a deserted corner. I watched, speechless for a moment. Someone is getting older, but the IQ hasn't caught up. Since Bai Lingbing wouldn't say anything, after asking twice, I stopped asking. Couldn't get an answer anyway. But this Ing made me realize something else. Bai Lingbing's playgirl persona seems not that simple. I used to think she just loved to play. Seeking marriage with me was just because we happened to know each other. But today it seems it's not that simple. So what is she thinking? I don't understand. Mother-in-law's birthday is in a few days. I need to go investigate. To prepare a birthday gift for mother-in-law, I bought a huge gift box, stuffed with various small gift boxes inside. This kind is best for surprises. It's just that there's one small box inside. I thought about it over and over. Didn't know what would be appropriate to put in, until Bai Lingbing came back. I smelled men's cologne on her. Faint woody scent, quite neutral. That's the one. I smiled and spoke to Bai Lingbing. Miss Bai, how was tonight? She looked up and lightly glanced at me. Asked, what do you mean, how was it? How was your little boyfriend? As words fell, I saw opposite me Bai Lingbing, who just sat down to eat, paused and asked me, what are you trying to say? Expression looked a bit nervous. I looked at her with a smile. This boyfriend of yours, can you introduce me? His cologne smells pretty good. If you already have it, that's best. I can buy the same one. Hearing this, she just started eating. Didn't even lift her head to me. In a cold voice, I kissed it Bai Lingbing. Just recommend it to me. I swear I won't do anything to him. I really just need the cologne link. After these words, the other party didn't even reply to me. Just kept eating. Looked like she was sulking. Although I don't know what kind of sulk it is. Bai Lingbing wouldn't tell me what perfume she's wearing. I had to go look for it myself. I found time to go to the perfume counter Bai Lingbing used to bring me to. Just a few steps after stepping inside, a familiar scent wafted over. This scent isn't bad either. I was just about to ask what the name of this perfume was, when someone walked over. He smiled and said to me, Mr. Fang, long time no see. Good to see you again. I smiled and replied, yeah, good. Long time no see. Back in college, Bai Lingbing brought me here a few times to pick perfumes. It was always this clerk recommending them to us. I didn't expect him to remember me. After speaking, I planned to look around. Suddenly I remembered the main business. I asked him what the perfume in the air was. Called. It smelled quite nice. He paused for a moment, looked at me in confusion and asked, Mr. Feng, you don't know? I looked at him blankly. I don't know. Should I know? Hearing this, his expression changed a bit, and he quickly shook his head and replied, No, this scent is our bestseller. I just thought Mr. Feng would know, that's all. Sorry about that. After saying that, he turned to get me a sample. I felt there was a hidden meaning in his words. It didn't sound quite right, so I pretended to say casually, By the way, help me look for the one Miss Bai recently. Bought, she said it smelled good. He replied, Okay, please wait a moment, Mr. Feng. Then he went to check the purchase records, not denying at all that Bai Ning had come to buy it. So I said again, By the way, can I take a look at her purchase rec? I remember she mentioned another name, but I forgot it. He glanced at me, looking a bit troubled, as if he wanted to refuse. I immediately smiled at him and said, If it's inconvenient, forget it. He'll send a message to ask her later. If she doesn't reply, I can come back next time. After speaking, I was about to leave the counter. He thought for a moment and said to me, It's okay. You can see it. I gave a faint smile. Thank you. Then I successfully saw Bai Ningbing's purchase records. Starting just a few days after the wedding, she began buying a bottle every day, and the scents were not all the same. Her most recent purchase record was just the day before yesterday. I asked the sales lady to bring me a sample. One sniff and it was the scent Bai Lingbing brought back that night. Also the bottle she sprayed last time was also in the records. Clearly she bought it herself, but she insisted someone gave it to her. Clearly the red marks were scratched by herself, but she insisted they were kisses. I really don't know what tricks this woman is playing. I went back with a perfume. When I got home, Bai Ningbing had already returned. I just opened the door and entered. She sat in the living room and glanced at me, saying nothing, and I pretended to say casually, I went to the perfume counter we used to visit often today, and bought the perfume you sprayed yesterday. As I spoke, I observed her with my peripheral vision. Her body leaning on the sofa instantly tensed up. She maintained her original posture and replied. I continued. I also bought the one you sprayed in the parking lot last time. Found that your taste isn't bad. She kept her posture and gave a hum of acknowledgement. This time I said directly, I actually wanted to buy the one you gave me before, but I forgot what it's called. Then I found a clerk and said I wanted to see your purchase history. This time, before I could finish speaking, Bai Lingbing turned her head and interrupted me, asking, Did he show you? While clutching the pillow. Nervous, I didn't answer him. Smiling I spoke. Bai Ningbing, why are you so nervous? What for? You wouldn't happen to be hiding something from me, right? How is that possible? Why would I need to hide anything from you? What do I have to be afraid of you for? I listened, nodding continuously. Yes, the most. Using a cowardly tone to say the toughest words. I looked up and told him disappointedly. The clerk didn't show it to me. He said this is customer privacy. I couldn't see it. As the words fell, Bai Ningbing's body visibly relaxed. He turned his head back, watching the TV and said to me, This clerk is right. It should be like this. How can one casually look at other people's privacy? A few days later, mother-in-law's birthday. I sent gifts. At the dinner table, Bai Ningbing ate silently. I was bent on getting the gossip. I pretended to bring it up casually, saying, Mom, I heard that after I went abroad, Ningbing also wanted to go. Abroad, right? Actually, I never heard that. Mother-in-law heard and replied, Yes. Bai Ningbing wanted to go with you, but his dad and I didn't let him. Wanted to go with me? Hearing this, I glanced at Bai Ningbing. She lowered her head, expression unclear. I continued, Is that so? I asked Bai Ningbing about this matter. He told me, there was no such thing. Hearing this, mother-in-law immediately looked at me and said, You know Ningbing, this girl is thin-skinned. Always awkward. Never speaking her mind directly. One sentence takes half a day of beating around the bush to come out. I nodded continuously as I listened. Yes, I think so too. After speaking, I wanted to ask more. I also heard, this time I didn't finish speaking. He added some food, put it in my bowl, and said to me, It's nothing, don't listen to others so much. So much talk during a meal. I turned my head and glanced at him, only to see red earlobes. I chuckled low and answered, Okay. From now on, I'll only listen to you. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw his hand pause. I smiled and continued eating. Anyway, I've already started the conversation. Just because I don't say it, doesn't mean others won't. Mother-in-law said to her, The least reliable thing is what you say. Clearly you missed Jiao Yuan after he went abroad. But you wouldn't even call him. Every time he came to mooch off my video calls. When asked, you said you just happened to be out there watching TV with me. For over 20 years. That was the only time you watched TV with me. Mother-in-law kept nagging. Bai Lingbing was rebutted into silence. I was holding back laughter aside. Then he directed the conversation to father-in-law. Dad, didn't you say there's a surprise for mom after eating? I responded and looked at father-in-law together. Father-in-law looked up blankly. Bai Ningbing desperately signaled him with his eyes. Unfortunately, father-in-law didn't realize it all and replied, When did I say that? As his words fell, Bai Lingbing spoke with a heart like dead ash. I said it. I laughed until I shook. The other party glared at me hatefully. After the dinner table questioning, I already roughly knew what was going on with Bai Ningbing. Saying one thing but meaning another. A woman with a mouth harder than stone. However, Bai Lingbing didn't feel her aloof image had collapsed at all. So I didn't expose him either. I want to see how long he can keep up the act. Bai Lingbing still occasionally brought the scent of perfume and smoke when coming home. I occasionally teased her saying, Miss Bai changed partners again today. She gave a light snort and replied, Didn't you say you weren't jealous? Why do you care if I change partners or not? Hearing this, I lowered my head and smiled. That doesn't mean I don't care at all. I'm still afraid. What if one day Miss Bai gives her heart to someone else and leaves? He'll have no choice but to divorce. I propped up my head, my gaze sweeping from her chin to her slightly open collar. With red ears, she pulled her clothes together and replied, Don't worry, I know my limits. Her tone sounded like she didn't care about me at all. In reality, the corners of her mouth were almost reaching the sky. I couldn't help but laugh watching her. She immediately retracted her smile and asked me, What are you laughing at? I realized Miss Bai looks very pretty when she smiles. Couldn't help but smile along, smiling slightly, looking at him. His body stiffened visibly. Then he got up and walked towards the room, replying to me, In full. Him leaving first. I nodded and said to his back, Miss Bai is walking with same arm and leg. Footsteps paused, ran away directly. I looked back with a smile at the empty seat opposite. Pure puppy pretending to be a player Bai Ningbing. They'll see how long you can keep pretending. More than 10 days later, Bai Ningbing, who had been avoiding me for a long time, had to stay with me in a car because we both had to attend the birthday party of the Song family's eldest son, Song Jiang. I still remember last time someone hugged his arm, and the scene where he directly shook it off. Wait a moment, it's their home turf. He's probably going to suffer. I smiled watching Bai Lingbing walk in front of me, as if to verify my words. As soon as Bai Ningbing entered, Song Jiang waved at him. Sister Ningbing, you're here. I thought Bai Ningbing would have his arm grabbed like last time. After all, it's his birthday today, hard to refuse. But Bai Ningbing only directly reached out and pulled me over, then dodged to the side himself, speaking to him. Happy birthday. As he finished speaking, I handed over the birthday gift in my hand. Brother Song Jiang, happy birthday. The other party's smile froze on his lips. Hearing this song, Xiang stopped his steps with some disappointment, pouted and accepted my gift. Replied. I smiled a bit, turning to leave. Within 2 steps, suddenly pulled by Bai Ningbing again. I turned back to look. He directly took my arm, saying, "You were going to get red wine. It'll go with you," then turned to look at Song Jiang. His mouth opened slightly as if he wanted to say something, but didn't say it out loud. Seeing this, I understood too. He is using me as a shield. But I still smiled and responded to her. Okay, after all, she is my woman no matter what. Then I took Bai Ningbing's arm and left. After Song Jiang disappeared from sight, I laughed at Bai Ningbing. Miss Bai usually passes through thousands of bushes, without a leaf sticking to her. Why are you afraid of a little boy today? She quickly let go of my arm and replied coldly. What afraid of him? It's just that I have no interest in him. Just don't want to cause trouble. I nodded. Is that so? That's quite principled. He snorted and didn't reply to me, then walked away by himself. Never thought about how much trouble her leaving would cause. I looked at her back and shook my head helplessly. Just now Song Jiang didn't get close to her. She was already a bit unhappy. Now she's walking alone again. Isn't that just asking to be caught? Never giving me a moment of peace, day after day. I sighed, and followed her helplessly. After walking just a few steps, I saw from afar that Bai Ningbing was caught by Song Jiang. The other guy was holding a phone and saying something to her. It looked like he wanted to take a photo with her. Bai Ningbing smiled awkwardly at the camera. There was half a person's distance between her and Song Jiang. Song Jiang was not satisfied. He stepped directly to her side, reaching out to place his hand on Bai Ningbing's waist. Bai Ningbing was at a loss. I quickened my pace, and cut directly into the frame between them. I grinned at the camera. Song Jiang was stunned when he saw me. I smiled and said, seeing brother Song Jiang and Ningbing taking photos, I wanted to join the fun too. As I spoke, the corners of his mouth quickly drooped, reluctantly included me in the shot and took one. And then turned to act coquettishly towards Bai Ningbing. Sister Ningbing, can I take a photo with you alone? Hearing this, I also looked up at him. Bai Ningbing didn't answer him. She looked down at me, grabbed my arm, and said, I only take solo shots with my husband. If you want a solo shot, you can crop it out yourself. I looked at my hand holding Bai Ningbing's in the photo. If cropped out alone, wouldn't it become a horror movie? I can't believe she said that. I held Bai Ningbing's hand, smiled at Song Jiang and said, brother, anything else to shoot? If not, Bai Ningbing and I still have things to do, so I'll leave first. The two of us echoing each other. The expression on Song Jiang's face was ugly, visibly unhappy. After leaving Song Jiang again, Bai Ningbing learned her lesson, following me closely without stepping away, going wherever I went. I spoke up on purpose. Don't you have your own business? Why do you keep following me? She quickly replied to me. If the media weren't here, do you think I'd want to keep following you? I dragged out the ending sound intentionally. So that's how it is. Then I misunderstood. I thought you were afraid of being dragged away again. I am not that cowardly. Unlike me, I stood up and turned to wave in another direction. Brother Song Jiang, I said, then saw Bai Ningbing stiffen. She stood up, quickly took my arm, as if facing a formidable enemy, then turned her head in confusion and discovered there was nothing there. Seeing this, I burst out laughing. Bai Ningbing also realized she had been tricked by me, without saying a word. Let go of my hand, and said to me with a dark face, Fang Yuan, next time, even if you die in front of me, I won't even blink. Saying that she wanted to leave, I quickly pulled her back. Sorry, I swear there won't be a next time. I was wrong, I won't dare do it again. Please help collect my body when I die. I said, trying hard to hold back my laughter. But I really couldn't help it. Her face got darker and darker. I laughed until my stomach hurt, then stopped smiling, and said to her, sorry, I just thought of something funny, that's all. He snorted coldly, and asked me what funny thing. Better to say it out loud, so everyone can laugh together. The banquet ended. I went home with Bai Ningbing. After returning home, later that night, I suddenly developed a fever. Just as I struggled to get up, a blanket flew over and covered my head. Pulling the blanket down, I saw a few bottles of fever reducers thrown on the sofa, and Bai Ningbing was walking towards the kitchen. He said to me, if you're not feeling well, don't hide it. He'll go make you some cold medicine. You tell me what you want. Speaking with an impatient tone while caring for me. Still as tsundere as always. I smiled and answered, Miss Bai, I want to say thank you. Is this okay? Her footsteps didn't move. Say this to my face. Tone rising. Sick for several days. A bit weak, but I don't know if it's because Bai Linggong took good care of me. My mood was exceptionally good. After recovering, I found the time to make dinner for him. When she came back from work, I was already waiting for him at the table. Today rarely, he didn't bring anything back. No perfume, no smell of smoke, no hickey marks. He washed his hands, rolled up his sleeves and sat opposite me. I pushed the braised pork ribs on the table towards him. Taste it. He looked up at me. You made this. I smiled and didn't answer. He picked up his chopsticks to taste. Ate silently, didn't say it was good or bad. I looked on feeling a bit confused. Is it good or not? I couldn't help asking him, is it not good? He didn't answer. Is it really not good? I picked up my chopsticks and tasted a mouthful. It's okay. Could it be not? Not to his taste? I worked hard to prepare this for an hour. Forget it. If he doesn't like it, he'll eat it myself. I whispered, if it's not good, forget it. As I spoke, I was about to take the plate back. He quickly picked a piece of meat from the plate, put it into his own bowl. I didn't say it wasn't good. Fang Yuan, what are you thinking? Smiling at the corners of his mouth. So he was teasing me. I smiled slightly and nodded. Fine, if it's good, eat more. Childish. I smiled and put the plate back. After dinner, I was idle, having nothing to do, sitting on the living room sofa watching TV. Bai Lingbing rarely sat over too. Before, after we ate, we would each go back to our rooms. I glanced at him. I didn't speak, and he didn't speak either. I casually pressed the remote and flipped to a channel. It was showing an advertisement for a certain female star. The female star was wearing yoga clothes, revealing her abs. So I casually said, I didn't expect her figure to be so good now. When I watched her TV dramas before, her figure was quite thin and weak. As a result, Bai Ningbing snorted, replied it's just so-so. I turned my head and glanced at him. Didn't say anything. Continued to press and flip to an ad. Men after reaching 30. Physical strength and ability. 30 years old. I quickly scrolled away. Bai Ningbing snatched the remote. Listen to scientific knowledge. How good it is. I immediately rushed over and turned off the TV. She certainly got the urge to tease me. Smiling, she spoke. Young Master Fang, don't be so jumpy. If there are mistakes, correct them. If not, keep avoiding them. If there really is a problem, we can see if we can fix it. I looked serious. No need to change. Bai Ningbing said with a smile. Young Master Fang's tone doesn't sound like there's nothing. I looked at her seriously. Bai Ningbing, stop talking nonsense. You haven't tried it. How do you know? I'm not weird. In the blink of an eye, she blushed to her ears and pushed me onto the sofa. I was stunned. Why don't we try it, young Master Fang? I tilted my head looking at her. Bring it on. Who's afraid of whom? Bai Ningbing blushed, clumsily tearing open the packaging. I laughed at her. Miss Bai, can you do it? If not, let me do it. I didn't expect Miss Bai, who has been in the game so long, to not even know how to open a condom wrapper. I didn't get to say the rest. As Bai Ningbing stopped me at my lips, she replied fiercely. Fang Yuan, watch if I can. Bai Ningbing used too. Hours to prove to me she is worth it. When I woke up, dazed and just opening my eyes, I saw a big face leaning in. Smack asterisk. Bai Ningbing kissed me on the face. I touched my face and said, Bai Ningbing, did you not brush your teeth? Instantly, she glared at me. Fang Yuan, you despise me, don't you? I quickly waved my hands. I wouldn't dare. She huffed, hugged me, and kissed me again. Although I was a bit disgusted, I didn't dare wipe it off this time. Otherwise, she would start again. I was scared. The next morning, I got up and looked at the mess on the floor, suddenly remembering Bai Ningbing's clumsiness last night. So I casually asked, Bai Ningbing, was that your first time last night? Your moves didn't feel very skilled. Hearing this, she immediately sat up and asked, what about the first time? Fang Yuan, you dislike that it was my first time, right? Who hasn't had a first time? She was indignant. Her voice so loud it felt like it would explode my eardrums. Why is she like she ate dynamite this morning? I immediately waved my hands. It's my fault. Everyone has to have a first time. She snorted lightly, looking like she was going to lie back down. Just as she lay down, as if suddenly thinking of something, she shot up and asked me, Fang Yuan, don't tell me. You aren't? Her eyes were full of shock. I was just about to speak when I was interrupted. You definitely aren't. That tone, those moves, were much more skilled than mine. I can't believe I'm not your first woman. I can't believe I'm not. Someone lay back down, heart like dead ash. Bai Ningbing, get up. Really, all day long you don't let me finish my sentences. Stiffening my voice. She got up looking aggrieved. I told her, you are the first. As the words fell, someone's mood cleared up. She chuckled, immediately got up and said to me, I'll go cook for you. Her mood couldn't be better. I grabbed her. Wait. I finished. Shouldn't you also explain to me what you did before? He looked at me confused. What thing? I pointed at his chest. Hickey, perfume. Smell of smoke. After I said that, he realized. He coughed lightly and replied, that. The perfume, I sprayed at myself. The smoke smell, I smoked myself up. The hickey, I picked at myself. I nodded. And then? He looked up, staring at me. What else is there? I sighed helplessly. You should at least explain to me why you did this. Otherwise the two of us, married and you like me, making me misunderstand that you're having an affair, is of no benefit to you at all. No. He suddenly realized and nodded. You mean this? It's just that you said before you like mature and charming men. Preferably the kind with some sexual tension. So I went to learn. I was confused. What does sexual tension have to do with this? I looked at him strangely. He lowered his head and continued. Then I went to ask other people. And also read some books. Other people. I thought of those others who asked Bai Ningbing to go to bars all day. Learning from them? I found it hard to accept. I held my forehead in pain and asked him. Then what books did you learn from? There are actually books teaching how to be more mature? Books with sexual tension? Do these really exist? Then I heard him reply. The female CEO's secret, how to become a woman. How to dominate everything in front of boys. My silence was deafening. I spoke numbly. Interact less with these people in the future. And throw all the books away from me. What kind of messy stuff is this? I asked him again. Even so, didn't you feel what they taught was wrong? You. Think about it since you want me to like you. Then you should maintain a positive image. But what's with you creating an image of sleeping around all day? I didn't understand. Asking this. Bai Ningbing said to me with a hint of pride. I thought about this. It was indeed a bit wrong. But then I thought, if I do this, and you get a little jealous, wouldn't that prove you like me a little? So it wouldn't be for nothing. Hearing this, the corner of my mouth couldn't help twitching. I forced a smile. Okay, go on. You go make breakfast. Also, the two of us might need to work harder. He turned back and asked me innocently. Why? I smiled slightly. Because if the child inherits your IQ, we can only rely on ourselves. They say if you're unlucky in love, you're lucky at work. I seriously suspect Bai Ningbing's ability at work was traded for his ability in love. Otherwise, how did he manage to be so silly? Things normal people can't think of. He did them. If I hadn't discovered it early back then, how long would I have misunderstood? So tiring. I sighed deeply. Bai Ningbing was peeling an orange for me nearby. Hearing the sound, he asked me what was wrong. Why are you sighing? Who bullied you? I slumped on the sofa chair and shook my head. No one, just feeling very tired. He immediately washed his hands and came over. He'll give you a massage and you won't be tired. I nodded and let him massage me. Massaging and massaging, wait. I looked over dumbfounded. Bai Ningbing smiled beautifully, as if he had successfully pulled off a secret prank. Sure enough, I underestimated this 30-year-old innocent puppy. Finally, the first anniversary of my marriage to Bai Ningbing arrived. This year, we went from lust to love. Unexpectedly. I originally suggested having a candlelight dinner at home, and then we could just do whatever we wanted. Simple and convenient. But Bai Ningbing disagreed, he said. This day is an important day. We must go to a restaurant to eat. Looking out from our table, you can overlook the city. However, Bai Ningbing is a bit afraid of heights. After sitting down, he didn't dare look outside. I looked at him with a smile. Bai Ningbing, why book a restaurant so high up if you're afraid of heights? He replied tremblingly, it looks good. The scenery is beautiful. I pursed my lips. Then look at it. He turned his head and glanced. Then quickly turned back. Never mind, you just look. I looked at him, shaking my head and laughing helplessly. Still as silly as before. Even though he's afraid of heights, he insisted on copying others and eating at a sky restaurant. You can tell it's fake at a glance. But if he insists it's real, let it be real. A meal that lasted from past 6 to past 8. I waited for him for half an hour. He still hadn't finished eating. I checked the time and spoke. Bai Ningbing, if you can't finish, forget it. Don't force yourself. It's getting late. Time to go. As soon as the words fell, Bai Ningbing put down his knife and fork. Okay, I'm done. Extremely precise, even though there were several bites left just now. Now he finished it all of a sudden. So strange. I looked at him with some confusion. His expression was normal. He took a sip of wine. Couldn't figure it out, forget it. Done eating, let's go. I stood up and was about to leave. Suddenly the sound of fireworks came to my ears. I turned my head at the sound. Bai Ningbing stood with his back to the floor-to-ceiling window, standing in front of me holding flowers. And in the sky behind him, drones formed 6 characters. Fang Yuan, I love you. I stood where I was stunned, while Bai Ningbing looked at me smiling and said, Fang Yuan, there's something I've wanted to say for a long time. I've loved you from our youth until now. Holding the flowers. He smiled like a dummy. Bai Ningbing, I love you too, from our youth until now.